Welcome to my new shed. In this video, I'm going to be walking through everything that's in my new shed and the entire build from start to finish. G'day guys, welcome to my new shed. Now the first question you might be asking yourself is, why the hell am I in another shed? There's a very good reason for this. I've been working out of my old man's shed for the last forever. I looked after his trucks, done all the service and repairs, just helped out with that kind of stuff. He let me use the shed, but things have changed. I met Jess. Now Jess, she doesn't live in Emu. Jess lives about 2.5 hours, 3 hours away from Emu. She's actually got a hair salon in Geelong and it's actually doing very well. Very proud of her. I thought it would be only stupid for her to pack up all of that great stuff that she's done and move to Emu, which I don't know who's gonna want their hair done in Emu. But anyway, I thought it would probably only be better for me to move to her to a bigger place with more resources. That's basically why I'm here. Since I've moved here, I've had a lot of people, especially people from Geelong, they're like, where's your new shed? I'm sorry, but I don't want to go telling everyone where I am. There's quite a few of you watching this. Within the first week of being here, I had people out the front revving their cars, and I don't really want that when I'm trying to work and stuff like that. So I'd really appreciate it if you didn't try. As much as I would love to have a beer with all of you, I'd have other things to do. Obviously, while you're watching this, we're standing here and the shed is nearly complete. When I say nearly complete, there's just a few little finishing touches that are coming in the next couple of weeks. Now, I'm gonna be taking these back to when I first moved into this shed. I've filmed the whole process along the way, and then I'm gonna walk through all of the new stuff that I've got here, including all of my new Kincrome tools, this hoist, my bandsaw, everything that's new. I'm gonna run you all through it, so let's get into it. So I got the keys to the new shop about 2 months ago. It was pretty much an empty concrete room with one power point and a toilet, but it wasn't long until my first shipment of goodies started rocking up. Got a special guest. Blow-in's called in to, I needed a big, strong Aussie boy to give me a lift with these toolboxes to put all together, and Jim was going past. So
Kincrome together, eh? That looks a lot like mine.
We're trying to work out, pretty sure that one goes on top of there, and then them ones go on top of that one up here, and then those ones go on the sides. So Jim's been nice enough to call in and lend his big, strong muscles. We've busted into the power tools. Needed a rattle gun to do something, and I needed a drill to do something, so I've opened them all up. But how good's this? What do you reckon of the power tools, Jim?
Mate, I'm impressed. I didn't know. I thought, come up, pick them up, handle them. Yeah, I reckon they're great, and they feel really like all the mechanism and everything it works on. It feels really smooth and. Yeah,
I was just saying to Jim that I've got a normal cord grinder, but I've also got a cordless grinder. Sometimes those jobs you just want to grind, all day long.
You need like nearly a new battery worth of power to do some of the cutting. Like some of the cutting's like real hard cutting, and you're just better off having a quarter grinder because you get a better cut out of it. Your disc lasts longer.
But then there's times where you just want to grab a grinder and you just want to cut something.
No, you just walk over.
And you don't want to have to go and set up an extension lead. So yeah, it's good that they've got the option there. Got a grease gun here. I've got. We haven't ever worked the other rattle gun situation yet, but there's 3 rattle guns. There's a big one, a medium one, and a smaller one.
What else you said about the battery clips, like your holders?
Yeah, so every single battery comes with one of these things. So I'll be able to mount them, I don't know, on the wall or wherever the charger is, and have all my batteries clipped on. Cordless heat gun, and then I've got a normal heat gun and some hole saws. There's a bit of everything here. I'll get them all unboxed later, but for now, we get this toolbox together.
Got to find somewhere to put them. Maybe I'm underqualified for this, mate. This might be more Jono style. That was a lot heavier than I anticipated that to be.
When I started unpacking all these tools, I started with the Kincrome kit out of my ute, and then I needed a screwdriver to put something together until eventually I'm digging further into the tools, and now I'm starting to use the ones in the toolbox.
Where do those ones go?
On the top.
On top of that?
Yeah, they're the top lockers.
Oh, you're going to need a hoist just to put them on.
It comes with an Allen key to put my toolbox together that's full of Allen keys.
I've got Allen's keys in the ute, actually. Yeah, I do.
These people don't know who Allen is yet.
Version of Allen's keys.
Jim's gone and bought himself a real 4-wheel drive.
Big Aussie 4-wheel drive.
He's got a Kincrome rattle gun doing up a Kincrome toolbox.
With a Kincrome socket on it.
With a Kincrome extension. With a Kincrome jack holding up.
Oh, like a ball one.
Oh. Right, interest here in a Kincrome.
Geez, you're a sharp kind of fella, aren't you?
I've got another one, I think. We can both unbox together.
We can.
Oh, look at this. Mine's bigger than yours. You call that a knife, mate?
That's not a knife.
That's a knife. It's like Christmas. It's your first time in an unboxing YouTube episode.
We definitely don't make it look like a proper YouTube.
All right, guys, welcome back to another unboxing.
The next 6 episodes on Pulley.
Bit of Jim's investigations here. We thought we had 2 lefts.
My OCD was playing up. Undo it there, flip the whole door upside down, screw it on the other side, and it becomes a right-hand door, if you're going to call it a right-hand door.
You nearly think we'd done this before.
Oh, mate. Pull that up.
Better than a Toyota handbrake.
Too right. Oh, bud. You wouldn't read about it.
Woo. You'd nearly think it was made to go there. Happy days?
Yeah, bud. Nice.
So I have to swap that door later.
Yeah.
Couple of big Aussie boys.
Big Aussie boys.
Look at that.
Oh, compensating from that?
Far out. That's a toolbox.
That is a monster. I like it.
Obviously, only this bit here is tools, but how good's this? These all pull out. I'm in an empty concrete box here. I haven't even got any shelves or anything yet. This is going to be so good for storing things that aren't even tools. I could have grinder discs, all that kind of stuff, locked away up, especially anything that you don't want covered in dust. Yeah. Like things that you want to keep clean.
Especially tools that you only pull out for like a slide hammer set that you got there. You don't need to use that every day.
And like tap and die set, it'll go up in somewhere. Or thank you very much for that, Jim.
Happy days, mate. Anytime.
Jim's got to head off, so I'm going to finish putting this together. I've got to put all the bolts in these top ones and turn this door around the other way so it's like that. And hopefully we'll see Jim back here in his LN.
Yeah, we have a project first thing on the hoist.
Have a look at this, Jim.
Thanks, big brother. This looks a little bit familiar, mate.
Yeah, do you know what it is? It is a 2.4 Hilux surf motor, which is no good to me, but it's got a full HD auto turbo kit on it and a brand new, fully built injector pump, new injectors and everything. This is out of TJ's car. Got his intake piping and the airbox and everything too, so this is all going into Frank. What do you got out here, Jim?
With all projects, you have to have parts.
So he's just bought it. How many weeks ago did you buy your LN?
4 weeks ago.
4 weeks ago. And what's he bought here?
So high steer, brace diff with ARB locker, hoist kit on it, all done. I need to find a bloke that knows his way around LN to put the IFS hubs on the front of it for me, mate. Hey, mate. Hey. And then that'll go in after he's had a roadie. Although you've got Frank, I've got Alan.
He's got Alan, so his is called Alan. I'll have to get Jim to send me a picture of old Alan and I'll put it on the screen so you just have a look.
As he is, like his stock, it's all right. Ex-cop car.
She's a bit of a gem.
Yeah, it's a bit of a find. We'll do a little bit of work to him, but we have plans before knowing.
We've got plans, yeah. We've got some plans. So you expect to see some LN stuff on the channel in the near future when I get the hoist in here.
And get the tools dirty.
Next job on the list was to go and get Baz. With Baz down in the new shed, I continued on setting up, starting with these new Kincrome stainless steel bench tops. Kincrome also do their own heavy duty shelving, so my next job was to piece all of these shelves together and bring down the rest of my stuff from Emu. I took Frank for a drive down to Melbourne and brought home a bunch of new machinery for the shed. If I had to say, probably the worst part of this whole shed build was putting everything together. Almost everything in this shed came in a flat pack. Didn't matter if it was a chair, a toolbox, a table, or workshop equipment. I done some big days in here and spent some late nights putting all of this stuff together, but eventually I got there in the end. Also, this sheet crate is how I got all my stuff down from Emu to put on the new shelves.
Righto, so I've got Mark here from Automotive Hoist Services Australia. He is here, he's a professional hoist installer, and we're here and we're going to put this hoist in today. So if anyone's looking for someone to service their hoist or install it around Geelong, where you do a whole of Victoria, don't you?
Yep.
Whole of Victoria, Mark does. It's a process. We stand them up, get them in position. I've roughly marked out on the floor where they need to go. Then we'll bring the car in. We'll check that it's still right.
Yep.
And these are the bolts. I've got those big suckers. Is it any different? Like, this is a big hoist. This is a 5.4 tonne. If you got a normal car hoist, is it different?
No.
Still 50 mil. Always got to be 150 mil. Yep. For anyone that's building their own sheds in their backyards or anything, and you think about how thick to make your concrete, if you want to put a hoist in, 150 mil. Is there? Can you do like a base plate or something if it's a bit?
Base plates, you can probably get away with nothing.
Yeah.
Cool. But that's what I call the base.
So ideally, 150 mil is what you want.
So before we're actually able to start doing anything, we need to finish unpacking all the parts just to make sure that they're all there. Also, we have hired a Manitou instead of a forklift because this is such a big hoist and we needed that extra reach. And to give us a bit more room, I am able to push Baz out of the road with my new Kincrome wheel dollies.
So we've got the first one standing up. Once we get the two standing up, then we'll bring the car in and see if it's all good. Geez, that's a big hoist, isn't it?
Oh, very high.
Very high. We've brought the ute in. We actually brought it in the first time and I had to sort of turn in and it felt a bit funny, so we've twisted them around a bit and we've lined it up where I can drive straight in onto the hoist. Reversed it in, try it again. You're pretty happy?
Yep.
I'm happy. So Mark's going to go and get these all. He's got a string line, but he'll go and check it all, make sure it's all in the right spot. Then he's going to drill and bolt them in and start putting the rest of it together. That's the spot though. Big hoist, isn't it?
It is really
Have a look at how much room we've got to walk through here. At least you don't have to worry about it. The door will probably still bang into it, but it's a lot better than what I'm used to.
a lot wider than your standard hoist.
So once Mark is done mounting the first post, he then starts to piece the whole hoist together.
Righto, so I've got them both standing up, run the cables through, and he hasn't bolted this one down yet because he wanted to make sure that everything was right before he drilled the holes.
Once the second post was mounted, it was time to top it up with oil, adjust the cables, and wire in a temporary plug for testing. So back here in the shed this morning, what have we got left to do?
Got to wire it up, and then we've got to test it all, put a camera up, make sure everything lands even on the locks, everything's all level.
Righto, so you just bled the oil up and you're sliding this out here, and he's going to do a quick test to see if left and right are going together. That sounded pretty good. We go and get the car now and put it on there and try it.
That's it.
And then this is sometimes a bit different with a bit of weight.
It is.
It is, so.
Very different once we've got weight on it.
Yep,
It'll
yep,
change because, yeah, at the moment it's just lifting on the hydraulics.
yep, yep.
Once we put weight on it, it'll change the...
It'll change it. So we'll go and get my ute, bring her in and put it on and see if we need to adjust from there.
And you can see here how much room I've got to get out of the car with this monster hoist.
See, even though that went bang bang, watch. See that landed dead level again?
Yeah.
Even though the clicks are different, it still landed level.
Give it a shake test. Jeez, it feels really solid on there. Look at that. Oh, we're cheating. The back wheel's still on the ground. Oh, it's pretty solid though.
That's not going to mate.
Yeah, going anywhere. So Mark was saying that over time the cables can stretch, won't they?
Yes, they always stretch. It's just a natural part of them.
So his recommendation is to leave something heavy on the hoist for overnight, for what, a couple of nights or so.
I like you.
Yeah, leave something heavy sitting on the hoist, and then he would come back and readjust that stretch out of it, and then it'll be pretty good for a while then.
Yeah.
So if you're putting your own hoist in it at home, there's a tip for you. So we've got the pump truck up in the air. Because it's such a big hoist, he wants to make sure it is all working and everything's right. So a couple of doors down, I've got a bloke with a big van. So I just asked him, and he's come down. We're going to pull the lid on and see if it lifts it. Do you reckon it'll lift it? Yeah, keep coming. What's that? Just there, just behind you, up on here. 4,495 kilos. That's fully empty. So you got some stuff in the back. There's another half a ton of shit in there. Skateboards. You probably got a couple of surfboards in there. So no, yeah, they will be. So this thing's 4.5 ton, and he's got a whole heap of shit in the back. This is Rod, by the way. Guys, you're probably going to end up seeing Rod again. He's just a couple of doors down. So, but yeah, 4.5 ton. And he's got shit in the back, so we'll see if it lifts it. Who wants to volunteer to press the button?
Oh,
You're the man. The moment of truth. We have liftoff. You're not going to push that off the hoist. It's pretty good, like it's pretty sturdy. Sitting level. Sweet. Happy days. Oh, she's running smooth now. I guess that answers the question. This hoist can lift a 5 ton. Maybe I'll bring it down here for a service. Just kidding, I don't have time. I got cars to build.
Concrete bench on it.
Yeah.
We definitely nailed the position. Didn't think we'd get the roller door shut with Rod's big van on here.
Righto. It is really starting to look like a shed now. A couple of weeks further in, I've been filming a little bit here and there as I go, but you know, I can't capture every single thing I do for you guys. The video will go for like 5 hours if I'd done that, but I'm gonna run you through what I have done that you just wouldn't have seen yet. So hoist is all in. I've got power points along the wall. There's 2 there and there's 1 over there. I got my mate Dale from back home. He's actually moved down here and he lives just down the road. So he come in and wired them up. Got one for the compressor and the saw and a 15 amper to run extension leads for the welders and stuff. Dale's coming in today to finish off this hoist wiring. He's just got to run a wire around to there. Baz has just been sitting here watching everything happen, starting to put some signs up. Wow. So sorry it's a bit of a mess in here, but got all my shelves, brought all them down. Got my pipe bender, made this up yesterday. Because I'm not in a massive shed anymore, I need to be able to wheel this, tuck it away in a corner out of the road when I don't need it. New welders, 2 new welders. They're all set up. Actually 3 new welders. Just one of them come from Facebook Marketplace. And it's the same as one of my old welders. But anyway, I'm gonna run through them when we're fully done. This here, let's have a look at this. So this here looks like a bit of a mess, but this is a special shelf. So this shelf here is going to have half of it's going to be for spares box and half of it is for outback equipment. Now, you've probably already realised from seeing it in the start of my videos, but Outback Equipment are a major sponsor of the channel. So I've put a big sign on the bloody wall up there for them. I've already opened this up here and had a look. This is a new set of mirrors. So these are Tough Terrain, which is that one behind the ladder. Now, if you're not familiar with Outback Equipment are like a big retail store for a lot of brands that you're probably already familiar with. So like Darche, Kincrome, Red Arc. Like if you go on Outback Equipment and look at their brands list, it is like this big. What Outback Equipment are is they're like a one-stop shop where you can go to buy anything. They sell camping gear, electrical, boating, four-wheel drive accessories, everything that evolves around equipment for the Outback. Outback Equipment have sent me a gift pack, and I don't 100% know what they've sent me. They've just sent me a bunch of Tough Terrain stuff. I know that there's probably going to be some recovery gear in here. I'm going to start unpacking them, and this is going to be like unwrapping Christmas presents. I've got no idea what that is. What the hell is it? I'm honestly not sure. Oh, it's a shower. It's a road shower. I don't usually shower. Oh, hold up. I thought it was a shower tent. It's an actual shower. The road shower utilises the renewable energy of the sun to heat the water. Ah, okay. So it's like a solar panel for hot showers. Not real sure what this is. It's like a holder for something. This one's heavy. Recovery gear. It's actually not, I was wrong. Oh, what is this? Some wiring for solar panels. Ooh, more wiring. This here. Oh, that's cool. Fused Anderson plug leads. They've just sent me a couple of them. Single to double Anderson plug adapters. Now this is all Tough Terrain stuff, so if any of this is appealing to you, just so you know, everything that I'm unboxing here is Tough Terrain. They've only sent me Tough Terrain. Tie downs, they might be cool for my awning. Some dual coloured strip lights. I didn't know Tough Terrain made so much stuff. 3 metre static rope. Oh, so it's just a little short one. So it's like a snatch strap, but it's like a short 3 metre one. I'll find a use for it. Oh, this is like a bag of electrical stuff. 30 Anderson plugs. Got an analog tyre gauge. I'm not a big fan of digital stuff. I like, oh, it actually, that's really nice. It's got the quick connect on the end. So you just really like that. I've got a real cheap Bunnings one in my ute and it's not very nice. Winch damper. I picked this one up on the way here from the post office to come later. So I've got a bit of wiring stuff going on behind me over here. I will show you my little wiring bench when we do the walkthrough at the end of this video. Already unboxed these. Spare set of floor mats. You would have seen, already done a little video on my Instagram. I know what this is. This is, surely this is a shower tent to go with the shower. Shower tent. It's one way to tell me I smell. Send me a shower. I think it's like a temporary seat cover. It is. Very nice. You like slip it over your seat. Say if you're down the beach or you're down in the mud, in the bush. What I'm gonna probably use these for is in the shed when you're working on the car and you get a bit dirty. Tree trunk protector. Well, I've got big soft shackles and little soft shackles. Nice. You can never have too many soft shackles. Or maybe you can. There's another 2, 3, 4. Snatch strap. I like that. You know what I like? I like that they've sent me one for every car, because there's always that time when you just down the shops and you break down and you need to get towed back to the shed or something in Frank, you know, you never know. Always good to have a strap. Recovery gloves. Now, I hope I don't break this trying to get it down, but this has to be a solar panel. I don't know what else could be this big and not be a solar panel. Oh, if you wouldn't read about it, it's a solar panel. Very nice. Compact air hose reel. I actually got this a little bit earlier, but it's from Tough Terrain. It's like a mini air hose reel. 7 meters, which is enough to reach around all 4 wheels of the ute. So yeah, I'm always going on about this multi-tire deflator in my videos. So the one on my ute, I've gone and I basically just used all the parts and plumbed it into the tray. But this here, it's the same thing, but it's like portable. So I've got this for Jesso's car. So if you're interested in any of these things that I just unboxed, or you want to just look them up to have a further look, they're by Outback Equipment. And if you use my code POOLY5, you will get a discount. And it also works for everything else on the store. So if you want to buy some Nava stuff for your shelf, you can also use Pooley5. It's not just for their tough terrain stuff. You want to buy Darche, you want to buy Kincrome, you want to buy an angle fridge, go on there and use the code Pooley5, or go and pay full price anywhere else. Doesn't worry me, but as long as you just know, if you need to find that code, it is in the bio of all my socials. Already showed these before, but these are a new set of mirrors for my Cruiser, and they are identical to the ones that are on it, except the ones that are on mine have got smashed glass, bungs missing, and lots of cuts on them. Thank you, Outback Equipment, for sending me all this good stuff. Righto, everything is all wired in. Dale's got the hoist finished, all the power points, everything is done. Still missing a couple of signs off the walls and a bit of stuff on this shelf over here, but I'm gonna walk you through the shed as it is now. Shed tour. Right, we're gonna start in this corner. Over here, I've got a press. This is a 30 ton. In my last shed at my old man's, okay, a similar one to this, but it was 100 ton. Couldn't afford a 100 ton press. I don't need a 100 ton press. And I actually find this one a little bit easier. I've already used it once. You can see some rags on it. Because it's a little bit smaller and lighter, I can pull these pins and lift that up and down without too much hassle. Whereas the old man's 100 ton one is like 4 times the size of that, and it's very heavy duty. This isn't a real flash drill press. These guys make these in a gear driven or a belt driven. I got a belt driven one because it was like 800 bucks. A gear driven one is into the thousands of dollars. I don't drill that much stuff. Got a bench grinder here. I've put a wire wheel on one side and I've got the fine one on the other. Use this a lot for just cleaning up bolts and stuff like that. So it's really important. Even like while I've been setting up this shed, I've done a few little jobs, and the first job I done, I was like, needed to buff something on a wire wheel and I didn't have it yet. So got that, and I've just got their stand, 5 ton Kincrome jack stands. I've got a Kincrome trolley jack. You're probably gonna get sick of hearing me say Kincrome, but I'm wearing a Kincrome shirt and I'm standing amongst a lot of Kincrome stuff. So you're just gonna have to deal with it. These here, I am saving for Christmas. This is a Kincrome bonbons. So you crack these and they actually have little tools in them. And like this little tape measure is actually a real tape measure, but it's just a mini one that only goes 2 meters. This here is a Kincrome advent calendar. They have a few prizes that you can win, so that's pretty cool. Kincrome do these every year, so if you are interested in this kind of thing, go check it out. This is a parts washer from Kincrome, just a little one. These are all dimple dies for doing dimples in steel. You know, like you see on comp trucks, they have all those circles with the dimples in them. They are from Speedwork. Same people that make my pipe bender, which we'll get to soon. We have got stainless benches. Now, this is something I've dreamed of for my whole life. You wouldn't read about it, but they are from Kincrome. So Kincrome actually sell these benches. They come as a flat pack. You bolt them all together and Bob's your uncle. Kincrome chairs. I made a point of solid mounting this to the bench, but then the bench is dynabolted to the wall and the ground. The main purpose of that is there's nothing worse than having something in the vise and you're pulling on it and the bench is moving on you. So this is all dynabolted to the wall and bolted down. We have got these hand holders from Frenchie's Fabrication. Frenchie is a bloody legend. He makes those trims on the doors, but he also makes these can holders. He done me a custom Emu Customs with the kernel in the end. Got a couple of them, and this is probably my favourite one. Put me back, you bastard. All of these cans here have come from Spares Box. I've got a few more coming for here. Better not forget about the bins. They come from Bunnings. And look at this big toolbox. So as I have already mentioned before, this is a really big toolbox. I am in fact a big Aussie boy, and this here is big. You're gonna need a step to reach up in here. Let's have a look in it. On the top, I've got 2 top lockers, some a tap and die set, and a bigger tension wrench, which is like comes out on special occasions. Side lockers. Got some Kincrome power tools in here to look at. These here are cool. I really like these. These slide out So I just got my camera gear on this one for the moment. It's actually there, so it was kind of out of the video while I'm filming. What I was thinking is I could put like all my bolt assortments on there, just for example, but then I could pull it out and, you know, get to the ones at the back or whatever. Over this side, we've got the same thing. Haven't really got anything too organized in there yet. So you've got a pegboard at the back here, so I've gone and put like brake cleaner, I've got some soapy water, and I've got some torches. Whoa, some are from Steady and some are from Kincrome. Got a couple of lights up the top here. This is all wired just to this power board, which is a bit of a tangled mess, but I've left this shelf sort of up here. It's not lit up. It's just, you throw your phone up there, charge it, that kind of stuff. A couple of battery chargers here for the Kincrome power tools. 1, 2, 3 rattle guns. Probably find I use the little one most. If the bolt's tight, I'll go to this one. And if the bolt's big, like suspension bolt, that is my one of choice. Got that there. Little tech gun. I've used this quite a bit already. And obviously the drill. So all these tools I've actually used a fair bit while setting this shed up. Be interesting to see how they go in the long run, but I really like them. Now this is coming from a bloke that had red power tools, and I left them in Emu because I don't require them anymore because I've got all new Kincrome ones, and I'm not really having any regrets. My favorite thing about these so far is that they stand up without a battery. Might not seem like much, but I wouldn't be able to have them all standing there like that if they didn't. In here, I've got a heat gun. That's a corded one, so plug it into the wall. Cordless heat gun, so that's pretty cool. I've got an option. I've got normal one or a cordless one, and I really like this. They've sent me a cord grinder as well. As much as I love these cordless grinders, which are really good when you need to just cut something quickly, or you need to go outside and cut something, or you need to take it with you on a trip and cut something, but when you want to be cutting something all day, or it's really thick and it's a big cut, can't go past a corded grinder. Very pleased to know the Kincrome do both. Now I've got this big work light here, haven't even used it. A little work light, haven't used that either. Grease gun, have used that. Greased all the suspension bushes in my ute the other day, really good. Then I've got a blower here. These are cool. These are like little kits full of like screwdriver bits. I've gone and labelled them screw bit. This so it's a bit easier. Tech bits for when I'm tech screwing stuff to everything in the shed. I don't want to bore you out with too much stuff, but we'll have a quick look in these drawers. Whoa. This one is literally all sockets. You always have a joke about losing the 10 mil. Well, I've got 8 10 mil sockets. 1/4 inch drive deep, 1/4 inch drive normal, 1/4 inch drive impact. There's like, then you got 3/8, 1/2 inch in all different lengths and sizes. So if I lose a 10 mil, I'm in trouble. Another thing that I've done is I've put little labels on all of these because there's just so many tools in this toolbox. There's nothing worse when you got like a mate here or something and they're like, you're under a car laying down and you're like, oh, could you just grab me a screwdriver? And they go to the toolbox and they're like, pulling out every drawer trying to find it, and you're like, oh, it would have been quicker if I just got up and got it myself. So I put labels on them all, and it's actually helping me in this one. Got spanners. They go all the way to 36 mil. Sometimes you need big spanners, especially if you're a truck mechanic. 1.25 inch. Ratchet spanners, imperial and metric, which is really good. I like that they've still catered for imperial. Being a truck mechanic, I do use a lot of imperial stuff. A lot of car mechanics that don't ever need imperial, but being a truck mechanic, you do need it. Not that I'm planning on working on any trucks in here, but you never know. Picks and files. This one's pretty cool. So I got like little seal picks, like picking O-rings and stuff like that. These are really good. I actually used these, one of these the other day. I think it was that one. I was putting some new radiator hoses on Frank. I've never had these. And I always probably should have. I've always used like screwdrivers and stuff. So good. Got some scissors, some bolt cutters, tin snips, a hacksaw, you know, all those sort of things you might only use every now and then, but so handy to have. This drawer is pretty cool. I've called this the measuring drawer because I've got a little tension wrench, 1/2 inch tension wrench, mirror and magnet. Those are things that I use quite a lot. Spirit level was in there. I was using it to hang a sign on a wall. Even got a little scan tool in there, so that's handy. Down in this drawer, I've actually got a few of my old tools. So these are the only tools that I brought from my old toolbox. Like that's it. I've left everything else at Emu. In this drawer here, I've also got some step drills. There's an assortment of like little bits, a portable soldering iron, hole saw, kit. And in that one there, that is a slide hammer. I've never had one of them, but I always needed one. That's just the odd bods drawer. This one is full of all like random paperwork and stuff that I didn't want to lose. Hammers and punches. Got some chisels and punches and a couple of pry bars and stuff like that in there. Have a look at these bloody Allen keys. You never know when you're gonna need an Allen key this big. There has been times in my mechanical life that I've needed these Allen keys and I haven't had them. These are the ones that I use most of the time. And got little T-handles. These are pretty cool if you're doing repetitive the same size. So when I was putting together some of the chairs and stuff like that, I would use the T-handle because they're all like the same 4mm bolt. E-Torx bits, Torx head bits, all different kinds of, you know, some of your European cars and stuff have like all these funny bolts on them. Screwdrivers. I have every single screwdriver to ever exist in here. These are like Torx bit screwdrivers. These are really handy. These are little mini screwdrivers. I used to fix iPhones back in the day. You need little mini screwdrivers like that. Actually got them built in to my Kincrome toolbox. Not that I'm going to be fixing any iPhones, but I've already used a couple of little ones just for doing little jobs. And then here we have got pliers, multi grips, pointy nose pliers, side cutters. Then you've got like insulated electrician ones, circlip pliers, but then I've also got mini circlip pliers, which I've actually already used. I was trying to help one of the neighbours fix a chuck on his bloody jigsaw, and he needed a little pair of circlip pliers, and I had them there. Also, the ones that are on the end of a Land Cruiser front locking hub, when you go to take them off and you got that circlip there, these are flat nose ones. What? Some strippers and some ratchet crimpers. If you are interested in this toolbox, this is the Tool Armor. This is the big dog. This is like the biggest one that they make. I really, really wanted to start with the big box, although all the shelves in it and that are empty. Over time, when I buy special tools and other different things, they'll have a spot to go, and that's really important to me because I hate having stuff laying around. I like to be organized. Wanted to keep all my paint and stuff away from where I'm welding and grinding, so I just put it in here. This here is a little portable Kincrome work trolley, and that there is a turbo kit for Frank. Moving along, we have some welders here. Now, this welder here, if you watched any of my videos where I've ever been welding, this will look familiar, but this is not the welder. Moving to a new shed meant I had to buy my own stuff. This here popped up on Facebook Marketplace, this little yellow welder. It was an older guy and he'd only ever used it once, and it's the exact same as my old man's one. So I was like, bargain, got that. This is for my general steel welding. This one here, this is a Unimig, and it's a Razor 200 Pulse. So this is a Pulse MIG. These are very popular, pretty common amongst like aluminium MIG welding. So there's a lot of guys building like aluminium trays and stuff now. They're all using these machines. I've put argon on it to set it up for aluminium. I might even throw bottle Argo shield on it and give it a little crack at steel. It's come with a couple of different liners and stuff like that, so you can set up to do either. This is a 200 amp AC/DC TIG from Unimig. So both of these machines are brand new. So this one here will be for welding aluminium TIG and stainless TIG. It'll do steel as well, but I'll probably never use it for that. Hoping to use this machine for a bit of pipe work. I've got to make all my intake piping, exhaust, and everything like that for Baz, so this is going to get its run in on that job. Unimig make a multi 230 amp machine that will do MIG, TIG, stick, everything, and it actually does AC and DC TIG, which is what a lot of those multifunction machines, they don't do both, and they don't pulse, and they don't do this and that. They do make a machine that does nearly everything, and I was going to get that machine, then that welder come up on Facebook Marketplace, so I've ended up with 3 welders instead of that multi-machine. I like the idea of having 3 welders set up. What I've been welding last on this, you know, all the settings are still set at that. It's still got that gas bottle on it. It's ready. If I was welding some 3mm aluminium with this the other day. If I want to weld 3mm aluminium, I'll grab it and just start welding. I was welding some steel with this the other day. If I want to weld steel, I'll just grab it and start welding. Would highly recommend the multi-machine for someone at home because it'll do everything and you only have to buy 1 welder. For me, that's doing it as a bit more of a profession, I've ended up with multiple machines. Moving on from the welders, I've got my old faithful welding trolley. This was a bit of a project when I started first playing around with CAD. Got some G-clamps on the end there, a bunch of grinding discs, and these discs here are actually some special ones. These are from 4WD Abrasives in Queensland. So these guys are an Australian company, and these discs are made in Germany. So they're not made in China. Anyone that knows anything about grinding discs will know that Germany makes really good ones. This thing here is called their hook and loop system. So this screws onto your grinder, and then these basically just Velcro on, including the flapper discs. These guys specialize in all different kinds of finishing and polishing and sanding and stuff like that. So if you want to check them out, 4WD Abrasives. Actually met one of these boys in Queensland at an event that I was in. They're actually building a 40 series. He was a really good fella to talk to, and yeah, they've just sent me couple of samples here to try. One thing they told me to make a note of is that their discs don't have any fibers in them. So what that means is that you can cut or grind these down. If they wear down, you can continue to use them because they don't have any fibers in them. And apparently they are the only ones that do this. So that's pretty cool. Got a few pens and textures and stuff like that. And down here I've got just a bunch of measuring gears. This here was meant to be in my fab bench. So what was happening is I'd be fabricating on the bench, and I'd have all these bloody measuring tools and squares and textures and stuff all over the bench that I'm trying to make something on. And I just never had a home for all that kind of stuff. It just kind of hung around and sit over there and over here. So I built a specific bench for grinding discs, squares, everything just go, anything to do with welding or making something with a welder or grinder lives on this bench. That there is a Unimig purified air filtered bloody helmet. These are from Unimig as well. These are like assortments. There's one there for the Pulse Mig. Assortment of like TIG cups, and I've got a gas lens one there. This here actually come from the neighbour. So I've got plans of making a really cool jig table with all the holes in it, but I want to make a really good one. Anyway, I was talking about it to the neighbour a couple doors down, and he's like, oh, I've got a welding table that I never used. So I've got a welding table to use. He's just lent it to me for as long as I want. Got my pipe bender down here, and I made a little frame up for it a couple days ago. I just want to be able to wheel it out when I need it, lock the wheels and use it. Then when I'm done, push it back into the corner somewhere. Around here, got a little bit of a kitchen set up here. Got my microwave and my air fryer and my EcoX speaker. I've had this thing for a while. This is like a waterproof, weatherproof outdoor thing. And I've added outdoors quite a few times. Last thing that I've done at the shed with this speaker before I brought it down here was pressure washed it with the spit water, which I would do every 6 months or so. It used to be sitting in the corner of the shed covered in grinder dust and all that kind of stuff, and it has survived. It's been to the beach, it's fallen off the back of the ute, it's fallen into the river out of the boat on a bit of a river trip. I can't kill it, but it's meant to be like that. It's an outdoor speaker, so I think it's called a Boulder Max or something like that. I'm missing a fridge from this area. This is not permanent. I've already run through unboxing of all these parts here, but Outback equipment and spares box shelf. So what I've got here is all my Outback equipment stuff. They have stocked this shelf for me, and spares box have stocked this side for me as well. We've just put the order through. Took a little bit of time to work out all the stuff that I need for here, so that'll be coming in the next episode. But basically it's like oil, filters, wheel bearings, all the like axle studs and all that kind of stuff I'm gonna have here on the shelf ready to go. I've already run through all this stuff, but basically, yeah, I've got a bunch, it's like some of this stuff here will go in the ute. I've just threw it on the shelf just cause. So I've got like a bit of a range of like Anderson plugs, and I've got like some terminals and solar connectors and stuff like that. When I do need one, I can just grab it off the shelf. So it's pretty cool. Instead of going down the shops, I've got the shop here. At some point, I'm gonna be doing something and I'm gonna go, geez, I wish I had a little light. There they are on the shelf. This here is probably one of the most exciting bits for me. Along here, this is like my little electrical shelf. Everything here did come from Outback equipment, and these are all Nava products. Now, I've got a range of different sizes of P-clamps here. I've got some circuit breakers, some electrical tape, some resistors from when I'm wiring up like tray lights and stuff like that. Bunch of just like 4 or 5 pin relays, just you never know when you need one. A lot of these things, like these fuses, they had an option to get like a pack of 10, so that's why I've got so many. Then just wire, I've got like a bunch of different just single colored wires. You never know when you just need a little bit of red wire, and I don't want to have to dig around. This is what I used to work with. There's when I need a little bit of wire, that's what I used to work with. And this is the other half of it. This is like what I've always dreamt of. Small 2-core wire, bigger 2-core wire, 7-core wire there. I have got some more wire coming. I've got like some bigger stuff. As well as that, I've got some assortments. So fuses, these have got like minis and big ones in there. Then a Darche plug kit. So this is actually a whole assortment of Darche plugs, which is really cool. Assortment of shrink wrap, pre-cut. Assortment of crimp terminals, and I've got the ratchet crimpers in there. Still a few more things coming for this bench. I've got like actual battery terminal lug assortment, which is what these big pliers are for. They're just for the Darche plug pins, those little ones. But yeah, I've got a couple more assortments, and I've got some more wiring stuff coming from there. This here is a bunch of conduits. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sizes, and there's a couple of split like spiral. You'll be able to see that. That's like spiral wrap. So I've got 2 sizes in that. But yeah, all from Narva and all through Outback Equipment. Don't forget to use my code POOLY5 at the checkout. You'd be silly not to, because it gives you a discount. Coming around here, I don't want to get too in depth with this because it is a bit messy. It's just storage. You know, when you're always digging around, you need that one odd bolt. This is what I've collected over the last few years. This is like my odd bolts assortment. These were all full of like good bolts. I need to do a bit of a restock. This has all just been thrown here. This is 1,000 pack of Narva zip ties, from little ones to big ones. And these are jumbo ones, so they're meant to be on that bench, but I haven't sorted them out yet. This is cool. I've had this for a while. I just got this off eBay, but this is Land Cruiser bolt assortment. So all those little odd bod bolts in the door catches and stuff like that, all those kind of little bolts. Land Cruiser has a pretty standard thread. You know, there's only a few different size bolts on a Land Cruiser, and really handy kit. I've tucked my 37s under there, so obviously can't run those bad boys as a daily, especially down here. So they just live under the shelf. When I'm going four-wheel driving somewhere that requires those wheels, I'll just put them on just for that. When I'm done, come home, take them off. Wow. No point having a hoist if you don't have a gearbox jack. So that there is a Kincrome gearbox jack. Retractable hose reel. When I went to the shop to buy a hose reel, they have a few different ones. These retractor ones. At the shed at Emu, we had a retractor one, and then we had a cheaper one. It's a little word of advice for me. Spend the money and get the better one. Good quality hose, doesn't tangle or kink. I got myself a Chicago Air compressor. These are one of those new silent ones. So I did have plans to put the compressor outside on the other wall. There's a bit of room out there, but I actually didn't need to because this thing isn't even loud at all. Pretty happy with that. And yeah, Dale's put a power point in there for the saw and the compressor. I've got another little 15 amp one there that I can plug a lead in and run to the welders. This is all from Machinery House. So basically, I done all my research. I talked to people about band saws and drop saws and cold saws and presses and everything. Looked right through all the website, made up my decision on the things that I wanted to buy and what I could afford as well. Went for a drive and I bought all this machinery, threw it all on the back of Frank, come back and set it all up. But yeah, I've got conveyor roller system. This is like a little 1.5 meter. That one is 3 meters. If I need, I can open that door. If I've got a full length, it's got a little single one I can stand outside. This is a gear driven bandsaw, 27mm blade. I've got a couple of different blades. I've got like a fine one that I can throw on there. But yeah, it's a variable speed. Because it's a gear driven, you don't have to change the belt over to different pulleys and stuff like that to change the speed like I do have to with the drill. With this, I don't. I can just turn the speed up and down. It's got fluid that runs through it. Most people that use one of these really like them. Saw that I used to use is the equivalent of this, but in a cold drop saw, like a circular one. And it was a slow rotating one. I had a couple of different blades that are run on it. Obviously that's the old man's, so couldn't bring that down here. I had to buy my own. One thing that I found with the cold saw is I could never cut pipe or tube with it. Now I could cut like 32 MB, roll cage pipe, but I couldn't cut stainless like exhaust pipe and stuff like that. It'll grab, and it just didn't, it didn't even fit in there properly. This here is absolutely brilliant for cutting that kind of stuff. And that's the main reason I've got it. I want to be able to do good cuts for making exhausts and stuff like that. But it'll also cut RHS. So if I want to do a tray frame or anything like that, it'll do that as well. There's a few pros and cons for a bandsaw versus like a drop saw, a cold saw, or a Brobo or whatever. But for me, this is the most universal one that I can kind of do everything that I need to do with. So that's why I've got a bandsaw this time. This thing here is a little portable workbench. This thing's pretty cool. When you're working on a car, you just park that up beside it and you can sit all your bolts in these little things and all your tools there. And then when you're done, you wheel it over to here, you pick the tool up off there, you wipe it clean, and then you put them all away. Kincrome creeper. These things here are panel stands, so like they're foam padded. Take a door off a car, you want to sit it on something, you sit it on one of them, it doesn't scratch it. That's what they're for purely. And there's some old ramps. Oh, these things here, these are actually from Kincrome. These are Kincrome storage solution, something like that I think it's called. Just leftover conduit from all the wiring. That's not staying there, I'm gonna give that to a mate. But the idea of this is I'll put all my lengths of tube and aluminium on there. I'll put these two closer together for my short pieces, and then that one's a bit further apart for the longer pieces. I have got another one I was thinking about putting on the wall over there, but I don't know if I'll need it for full lengths, will just fit there. So pretty much I've tried to utilize the space in this shed as well as possible. Got the saw over here. I've got it lined up so I can bring stuff in from the door and cut it, and then I can put it on the shelf and whatever. This hoist is specifically positioned so it's comfortable to work on and close to the tools. So when I've got a car driven in, the bonnet's there right near the tools. And obviously I've got the clean bench over here. This is like mechanical stuff. So anything to do with welding, I'll be doing on that bench. Anything to do with grease and oil and mechanical, I'll be doing on that bench. And that leaves us to lucky last, the hoist. Wow. Now I've already talked about this hoist throughout the video, but this is a forward lift hoist. And these hoists are sourced through Repco. A lot of people probably don't even know this, but Repco actually sells a lot of workshop equipment, like, big trade stuff. They fit out workshops with like 10 of these hoists. And forward lift is made by Rotary. So if you've heard of Rotary hoist before, this is a Rotary hoist, technically. But anyway, it's sold under forward lift. The main reason I've got this hoist is because it's a big hoist. The technical specifications of it is it can lift 5,448 kilos. So it's almost 5.5 ton, but they call it a 5.4 ton. My ute doesn't weigh that much, but when you're under a hoist working on a car, the hoist that I used to use at home, it was like, it's old and it's for small cars, and I was really nervous to work on my cruiser under it. The idea of getting a big hoist like this is that I can not even have to stress at all with the car up in the air, swinging on it with bars. A hoist is something that's going to stay with me for the next 20 years, 30 years, maybe even longer. I used the big hoist at Creswick 4WD Drive one time, and I was like, far out, this is a sick hoist. And ever since then, I've wanted a big hoist, and it's something that I'm going to have for the next like 20, 30 years. It's, it's not just for now. I'm forward thinking in the future. I would regret it for my whole life if I didn't go this big dog. So basically, I've got the best two-post hoist that I could find. It's massive. You can see that top bit's like bolted on. So forward lift, they do different sizes of these. So you can customize it to the height of your shed. Obviously, this is massive. This is set up. I can have a mezzanine in here. It's got a window and all. I could be 2-story if I wanted to. So I went for the big tall one. But if you were looking at a hoist like this and you had a shed that was a little bit of a lower roof, they sell a range of different tops so you can sort of get what suits. There's a few cool things that I like about it. One of them is that when it comes down, so these pins are what allow you to, you pull that pin up and then you can move the arm in and out. So when it comes down, the pin actually hits on a plate on the bottom down there, and you can move the arm in and out. As soon as it goes up, they're locked. So when you let it down, then they release. So you pull them out from under your car and away you go. The next thing I really like is these. That there. How I was talking about it being safe when you're under the car, when you're working on it. This is a major part of that. These are really good. They've got like a little lip either side, so you'll put that so it hooks onto your chassis rail and the car can't slide off. This is probably my favorite part of the new shed, is this hoist. It's just like, there's a few things in here, like stainless benches are one thing. I've always wanted stainless benches, and a big safe hoist is another thing. And like I was saying about, you know, I've got this hoist for the next 20 years. Bandsaw is, you know, same thing, as well as the tools and a few like most of the things in this shed. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like, and if you like what I do, and if you're interested to see what I'm going to do in this shed, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I've got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and I hope some of you guys come back and watch it. Wow.